What's up, everybody? Good morning. So I wanted to do a quick video on food preparation. This really isn't for the competitor because the competitors are pretty much programmed. At least if you're on your game, you should be programmed with everything. This is for your average person that's coming into a food plan that gets overwhelmed in the morning with the whole process of a structure and a regimen, especially if you have kids. So I wanted to show you some of the things that Kristen and I do ahead of time, and it'll save you a lot of time in the morning, especially if it's chaotic in your household. There's a couple of things that you could do to make life easier when you start a new food program. So most of you, if you work with a coach in any facet, you're going to wind up doing some form of supplement regimen. You're obviously not going to do anything that a competitor would do, but you should have some basic supplements. So I have all my supplements, obviously, in these pill cases. The last thing that I want to do every morning is go into here individually and take it out. Your beginner is not going to have anywhere near this. You might have a multivitamin, some vitamin D3, vitamin C, and maybe some omegas. What I do is the night before, because Kristen and I get up pretty early to do cardio, usually at 6 o'clock in the morning. I am not a morning person, so even I have to be a little bit more regimented than your average competitor. I'll put all this stuff in my little pill ramekin. So that way it's one less thing that I have to do in the morning, and believe it or not, it is a nice time saver. Another thing that I do, I have a little bit of a selection as far as the carbs that I can eat. Now, Kristen, as I mentioned in the other videos, she made a nice station for us, so I actually don't have to go in and open up the containers of the actual food. Today I'm not having oats. Today I'm having Ezekiel muffins. So those of you that don't know what Ezekiel muffins are, they are in the frozen food section of most supermarkets. They are frozen. Most of the Ezekiel breads are frozen. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll actually nuke this, or I'll microwave this the night before, and I'll put it in the refrigerator like this. So it's one less thing that I have to do in the morning. I'm cutting time off my morning regimen. I'll obviously put this in the toaster, and that's one less thing that I have to do. Another big thing, people are like, oh, I don't have time to crack eggs. I hate cracking eggs, but if you do it the night before, you're going to shave probably a good 2 or 3 minutes off your morning regimen, so you're adding minutes to everything that you have to do in the morning. Kristen goes a step further because sometimes she gets earlier. Kristen actually pre-makes her eggs the night before. She'll put them in the refrigerator and keep them, she'll put aluminum foil over them and then just reheat this. I need my eggs fresh, so what I'll do is, these eggs were cracked the night before, last night, because I knew that we were going to probably sleep in a little bit today before we did cardio. So now I'll make my eggs fresh. And the only other thing that I'm going to add to my eggs, this morning I'm going to have a banana. Obviously they're already done. And I add a little bit of arugula. I'm on an arugula kick. Kristen and I put arugula on our eggs in the morning. It's another texture changer. We talked about changing textures in another video. So right here with everything that we did, believe it or not, we probably shaved a good 10, 15 minutes off the whole morning process. And that's a lot of time, especially if you have kids or you're just starting out a plan. The whole idea is to be prepared. I know it can be overwhelming when you first start a plan, but if you're systematic about it and you take steps to make it easier, it won't be so overwhelming. So we're going to be doing a little bit more posting on this because we're getting a lot of good feedback, and people that are just starting out in a program, especially beginner, if you've never followed a food program, the structure can be overwhelming itself, but once you get into a little bit of a routine, everything becomes like clockwork. But we'll be posting more recipes and kind of little tidbits to help everybody out as you basically go throughout your day.